Worldwide parent coach and conscious educator Sue DeCaro is on a mission to revitalize the joy in parenting. Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a podcast designed to help parents all over the world create deeper connections with themselves and their children while overcoming life's daily parenting challenges. Listen in if you want to bring more laughter, love, and enjoyment to your home life.
Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a place for all things parenting. I am your host, Sue DeCaro. Do you ever find yourself wanting to avoid uncomfortable emotions? Do you ever feel as if sometimes they can be just way too painful to experience? Our emotions are often very heavy to manage and move through. However, emotions are an important part of experiencing our lives, moving forward, learning, and growing. Each emotion that we experience is here for a reason. It shows up just like an unwanted guest in our home. But our emotions, each of them, as they show up, are opportunities to tackle the messages that are hiding behind them. As uninvited guests, these emotions often show up at the most inconvenient times. They require us to pause. This pause is an enormous opportunity in deciphering and deconstructing the actual emotion itself as we allow it to run through us. So it is not about taking these uninvited guests and brushing them under the carpet. Just the opposite. It is about engaging with them, understanding them, and taking the opportunity to deconstruct so we can understand more about ourselves as we move forward. So as you experience this in your own life, I encourage you to bring attention to each emotion that appears. Some of them are just everyday emotions that come and go, and maybe there isn't a deep underlying reason, but many of them there may be. These are invaluable insights when we give ourselves the opportunity to pause and look at them. Paying attention to the emotion and the insight behind it can lead to more understanding of our own lives, more information about a situation, or we can experience and have more knowledge as we act, react, enjoy our lives, and move forward. So here are some helpful ways to move through your own emotions. First, we must acknowledge the emotion that we are feeling. Sometimes this takes time to be able to do, either because it is unwanted and we're avoiding it, or it is just not clear. So give yourself time to pause, time to reflect, and time to actually look at this particular emotion. With the gift of time, you'll be able to acknowledge and label exactly what you are feeling. After we have acknowledged this particular emotion, the next step is to accept it. It is what it is, and there's not much we can do about it. Acceptance allows us to step into the feeling and learn more about why it is showing up for us. Acceptance is a crucial part of the emotional process. Again, just brushing our emotions under the carpet doesn't help us in the next situation that arises, and also doesn't teach us anything. So it is really important to accept what is, what's in front of us, what is here for us. It's all in order to help us learn and grow. So we first acknowledge the emotion, and then we're accepting the emotion. Lastly, ask yourself, what is this experience here to teach me or show me? What is this emotion all about? I ask this question all the time of myself. I'm quite the emotional individual, and so emotions are always showing up for me, but they're also offering me great opportunities to learn about myself and learn about the world around me as well. So ask yourself, how can I learn from this as I move forward? Life is full of wonderful experiences, even the emotional ones. And we look at these situations in this way, we give ourselves such an incredible opportunity to grow. I do not enjoy flying. When I get ready to take a trip, I get extremely anxious and unenjoyable to be around. I also become very emotional. But I have become adept at seeing this pattern and acknowledging these emotions that I feel prior to taking a trip. And again, emotions can show up in patterns with certain things that we experience in our lives that bring up emotions that are uncomfortable each and every time. I still don't like to travel, but I try to bring some comfort to myself and how I am feeling. I acknowledge why my feelings and emotions are here and then work hard to accept them. This does not mean that they will not show up again in my life, because they will. It is just clear to me that I need to be extremely compassionate with myself as I get closer to a trip. And I need to find methods each time to approach and to cope with these emotions. For myself and for everybody else, each time I fly, I'll learn a little bit more about myself in a more effective way that I can handle the experience and the emotions that come with it. But again, first, I see the emotion. I acknowledge the emotion. Then I accept it as is. Then I ask myself, what can I learn from this as I move forward in my day-to-day emotional world? So emotions are all here for a reason. They're part of life. We can't avoid them. So I hope that you can take these 3 steps to use the next time you feel like you have an uninvited guest, an emotion that is uncomfortable for you. And I hope that it will help you to move through them in a way that serves you in your life. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns at sue@DeCaroParentCoaching.com. Thank you for joining me. And remember, every moment is a new moment for conscious connections.
Thanks for listening to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend. And be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.